and I'm bringing this in from over at KCUR. Looks like it's an NPR station out of Kansas City. And their headline they're running is a federal investigation into child labor violations at meatpacking plants expands into Missouri. Article up by Steve Vacrot. And it was published November 14th, time of recording November 20th. The U.S. Department of Labor is investigating the potentially illegal use of children working dangerous jobs at meatpacking and slaughtering facilities in at least 3 stages and perhaps more. I think I may have heard some coverage of this toward the end of this week. They tell us that the Department of Labor filed a complaint in the federal court in Nebraska last week to stop the Wisconsin-based Packers Sanitation Services, Inc. That's Wisconsin-based Packers Sanitation and Services, Inc. to stop them from committing what the agency called oppressive child labor violations. Oppressive child labor in quotes. Taking a look here, a meat processing company's hired Packers Services to clean its plants. Okay, I think I may have heard the folks over at the Young Turks riffing about this. They tell us minors can hold certain jobs and federal regulations prohibit them from working in positions deemed particularly hazardous and detrimental to their health and well-being. The Department of Labor's and Wages Hour Divisions, the Department of Labor's Wage and Hour Division launched its investigation into Packers Sanitation earlier this year after getting a tip from law enforcement about a child suffering from chemical burns while working overnight shifts at the JBS USA's meatpacking plant in Grand Island, Nebraska. Jesus. And yeah, they launch into tired students. And I do remember hearing that like they were working over 18 hours a week, which was the minimum, that they were doing overnight shifts where it's like you're going pretty much from the shift into class.
Yep.
And there's a quote here from Michael Lazari, who is the Wage Hour and Regional Administrator in Chicago. And Michael says, quote, taking advantage of children, exposing them to workplace dangers, and interfering with a federal investigation demonstrate that the Packers Sanitation Services, Inc., that they have a flagrant disregard for the law and for well-being of young workers, end quote. And a spam text message to boot. The Midwest Newsroom has also learned that the Department of Labor also started an investigation into Packers Sanitation at Tyson Foods plants in Sedalia, I almost said Balia, in Sedalia, Missouri. According to a search warrant application that a federal magistrate judge in Missouri unsealed last week, the Department of Labor investigators conducted overnight surveillance at Tyson's Sedalia plant and saw people entering the plant that the investigators believed could be children. But you're investigating, so you don't stop it in the moment.
Nope, you don't.
The Department of Labor, this culture, a bad culture breeds bad laws and breeds bad practices.
Yes.
Even the good laws are practiced badly because it's a bad culture. Continuing. Bow. So the Department of Labor, they obtained a separate search warrant of Packers Sanitation's corporate offices in Kyler, Wisconsin. Kieler. I think that's Kyler. And this is where they obtained the company's personal records. In an initial review of those records caused concern that they're finally abbreviating this shit, that PSSI may employ minors at other locations as well. A Department of Labor employee, we can start saying DOL, a Department of Labor employee said in a declaration that clock-in records at 8 different meat processing plants revealed photographs of workers who may be minors. Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yes.
So I am a plant worker contract. I'm a worker. I've been job hopping kind of here lately. And yeah, these facilities, they tend to have scanners for your face to check your temperature now since COVID. So now, like, even if they were having them like not clock in and then they just change their hours later, no matter what they do, the time that the face scan took place is archived. That's fun. Okay, continuing. But or did I'm all over your story here.
No, you're fine. No, go ahead.
Okay. So Bow, a PSSI spokesperson, said the company prohibits employing anyone younger than 18 years of age and has what it is called a industry-leading procedure to confirm the identities of its workers. They have a quote from the spokesperson in an email. Quote, while rogue individuals could of course seek to engage in fraud or identity theft, we are confident in our company's strict compliance policies and will defend ourselves vigorously against these claims. End quote. And someone strategically left out 2 syllables, in court. Defend ourselves in court against these claims.
See, but this is one of those stories where I want to know where, like, the antis are, right? So the people who are, like, anti-sex trafficking, the people who are just the bane of my existence. Because, like, you think a story like this would be their shit. They always scream about how they want to protect children, right? They're trying to stop workplace abuses. They're trying to stop human trafficking. Why are they not on this story?
Is it going to be court or arbitration? What are they going to go to?
Arbitration.
Taking a look here. They have another quote, quote, PSSI also worked with the DOL recently and successfully completed multiple audits with the agency that found no issues. We investigated ourselves and found nothing wrong. Quote, continuing, PSSI will continue to cooperate with the DOL, thank you, and will continue to enforce its absolute prohibition against employing anyone under the age of 18, end quote. They go into the zero tolerance segment. In
Do you
court,
think that if they find the kids that were working there, that they're going to get charged for having a fake ID?
Are they white? No, these kids, from the Young Turks, I do remember hearing this. They said most of these kids are from Mexico. So they're going to get charged.
Yeah, they're going to get charged.
Yep, charge that ass. Throw them in a cage. Hell, it's a rainbow cage now. Hell, man, that's an inclusive cage.
It's right? What liberals and Republicans want.
That's what I'm talking about. Reach across it. What else do they tell us? Zero tolerance. In court documents, the Department of Labor accused PSSI of interfering with its investigation by denying investigators, white people love investigating, denying investigators access to documents and obstructing interviews with workers.
Oh, so we can't tell if they're following through on their zero tolerance policy, huh?
They already investigated themselves.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
They have an individual they note here by the name of Michael Koenig. Michael Koenig seems to be the Chief Ethics and Compliance Officer for JBS USA, and Michael says the company took the allegations against PSSI seriously, and if true, would represent a violation of the meat company's ethics policies. Quote from Michael, "We are immediately launching an independent third-party audit at all of our facilities to thoroughly evaluate the situation. JBS has a zero tolerance for child labor discrimination or unsafe working conditions for anyone working in our facilities. We expect and contractually require our partners to adhere to the highest ethical principles as outlined in our Business Associate Code of Conduct." End quote from Michael Koenig.
So believable.
And Michael, again, is the Chief Ethics and Compliance Officer for JBS USA. You know he means business. They continue, same segment of the article. The Department of Labor opened its investigation on August 24th after its Wage and Hour Division received a referral and a law enforcement agency from a law enforcement agency about possible child labor violations at the JBS USA plant in Grand Island, Nebraska. On October 13th, all right, from August 24th to October 13th now, because they're working it out. They're on the ball here. The Department of Labor showed up at the JBS plant with a search warrant. As the investigators toured the facility, they noticed workers who looked like children scrubbing equipment on the kill floor. Interesting. Don't stop it. Keep investigating.
Keep investigating.
Make sure they're children first by not walking up and asking them.
Well, yes.
Investigators, white people love investigating, they interviewed children they found working. There you go. Yes, working at the plant. And the interviews were conducted in Spanish because the children did not speak fluent English. The Department of Labor did not directly address a question about the immigration status of the children interviewed during the investigation. And we have a quote, again, from a spokesperson in an email. The Department of Labor is committed to ensure all workers in the United States are protected by federal laws, such as the child labor laws, regardless of immigration status. End quote. The interviews produced accounts of the working conditions experienced by the miners in the Grand Island, Nebraska plant. One child who is 13, Matt Walsh would take an interest. 13 when they started working for PSSI, reported sustaining chemical burns from the cleaning materials used at the JBS plant.
Jesus.
Another child who was 14. Now Cenk Unger is taking an interest. Well, in a now deleted video, when they started working for PSSI, they cleaned machinery used to cut meat during overnight work shifts. The child also suffered injuries from chemical burns. Another child, 17, this is more Cenk Unger speed, 17-year-old, reported working overnight shifts longer than 6 hours, about 6 or 7 nights a week, cleaning machines on the kill floor by hand.
I mean, sounds like child trafficking to me.
Yes.
Worse QAnon.
End of article is a Nebraska judge scheduled a hearing for November 23rd to consider a preliminary injunction against PSSI. Time of recording, November 20th. Yes, it's on the way. And I'm sure we won't be the only people that take an interest in it. You had another thought. You were like, what the fuck, yo?
Oh, just, yeah, all this, like, because I take stories like this extra personally because of my job, but it's like, I have all these people who are like, we want to stop trafficking. We want to help stop trafficking. We have to stop trafficking. Like, literally, right here is child trafficking. Go fucking do something. It's like that meme with, like, the guy with the stick, that everyone was doing with Kyle Rittenhouse. Like, come on, hero, poking him, like, get up and go do something.
Yeah.
Like, come on, you fucking alleged social justice warriors who want to just save the children. Get up and fucking do something. There's kids they're middle school age children getting chemical burns, working 7 days a week. Get up and go fucking do something. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Or not.
Or not.
Yeah, wait,
it's not,
see.
That kind of.
Because also that meat does need to get packed.
It does. Well, I told you about the jungle.
All right, and move it.
Or lose it.